Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Before I get started, I just want to say a quick message to my daughter Emmy. I hope you had a really good birthday, pet, and I'm sorry I couldn't be with you, but I did really have to go and help Richard with his steam wagon. Anyway, happy birthday, Bonnie lass. You really mean a hell of a lot to us, and I know you'll be sitting watching this. Right, tonight's nightcap, the first thing I'm going to do is the draw, which was for the little set of quarter Whitworth dies, and a pair of outside calipers, and of course the dreaded 9x125mm tap. So we'll pull the name out so we can get somebody for that. Have a good bit ferrage about. There's a one. Right, the name I've got here is Brian Boothroyd. This is quite an old one because it's caught in stains, probably off Stig. Right, Brian, all you need to do is send me an email with your address and I'll get those items posted up to you as soon as possible. I'm going to do another giveaway. This time it's going to be for someone that's already been given away and wasn't claimed. A set of outside and a set of inside, or even inside and outside dividers or calipers, and a lovely little engineer square. These are a little bit rusty, it's just surface rust to clean up. They're both made by Starrett. They're real good quality items. I'm sure they're well worth winning. As usual, if you want a chance at winning those, all you have to do is send me an email. That's my email up there, and all I need is your name, like John Mills, not just John. Your name goes in the bucket. If it's drawn out, I'll send you the prize. And I have got a set of these brand new that are too good to use, and I've got a set I use all the time, and another set, so it's pointless me keeping them. They might as well be given away to somebody that can spend a bit of time cleaning them up and then using them. After tonight's nightcap, I'm going to put a video on which is all about a road run in Richard's Sentinel steam wagon. We'll go from Tanfield Lee to Tanfield. I think it's a distance of 4 or 5 miles. It's complete raw video, hardly any editing, so there's a little bit of swearing in it. It's basically pulling away in a wagon from one place and going to another place. Like I say, if you're interested in steam, I'm sure you'll be interested in that video. This is the second plate for the line. I pull out the actual bottom plate. I need to bore a 120mm hole in the centre of there. And the way it is at the minute, I try and bore the hole, the cut I'll hit the chuck jaws. So what I've done, I've put a spring-loaded, what I would call a wiggle bar in there. And I'm just going to use that just to give a little bit of preload so I can put these packing pieces behind it. These are 6mm dowel pins. It just fell out. But hopefully I should be able to put them in, and that should hold that in place. I'll lift these two jaws up and try and do the other two. Once they're in there and it's all lined up, we can actually take these out. Right, I've managed to get it all lined up. It's running true that way. Or true within a couple of thou, yeah, enough true. I need to check this face now to make sure that it is actually flat in the chuck. I'll move things around a little bit. Right, you can see now there's a gap between the plate and the chuck jaw, which means when the boring tool breaks through, I've got that much to play with before I damage anything. I've put a clock gauge on and it's within sort of 5 thou, 6 thou, but it's hot rolled plate. It's not exactly gauge plate, so I think that's pretty good. It's not actually giving a reading a high point anyway, it's sort of fluctuating because the plate will not be 100% flat. So we'll drill this, bore it, so I think it's 120mm. more and more in the same setting. Put a facing cut across there just to clean it up a little bit. This boring tool will probably do the job. Not quite, can't quite get it. Right, the next thing we need is 4 holes drilling in each corner. What I'm going to do is line these up, and I'll put 4 tack welds on to hold them together and drill them all fastened together, and I'll put an E and an A so it all goes back together the same way. Because we can drill these holes accurate, but they've got to be really accurate to line one up on top of the other. So I could drill 4 there, and then trying to mark 4 on there will be a bit of a pain in the arse. But if I tack them together and poke 4 holes through, basically I can't go wrong. I'll put some marking glue on here and I'll mark out the holes centres for the 4 8mm bolts. 8mm sounds a little bit on the thin side, but really it's under compression, it's pushing down, all it's got to do is hold it in line. We'll clean this off with a little bit of brake cleaner and then put some marking glue on it. I absolutely love this colour, gorgeous blue. That's it, you're playing with that. Let that dry with a cup of coffee and a cigarette. And the cigarette years are long gone, thank goodness. I've got the 4 holes marked out. I've got a space out here. I use a bearing tack. This just happens to be a real jog wheel off a milling machine. That simply goes up there. I'll do it on this side, and I can get the camera better to see how I'm going to line the pot marks up. Right, so that's clamped down nice and firmly. Just got to eyeball these. You can get within a few thou just using the eyeball method. Start the milling machine up and I'll show you set this up. You need a little bit of friction on it. Something like that. What you don't do is use your fingers like that because it will bite you. You use something like that, you can't hurt. Okay, so you can see that's not running out, it's running nice and true. So wherever that hits is going to be where the drill hits. So do one axis first, then look at the other side and do the other one. And by jiggling about, you can get that to be absolutely perfect in the centre of that row. Possibly once they come that way, the fanny's hair, but basically that's not too bad. Centre drill first. Right, that's absolutely spot on. A little bit of lube. That's one of the cobalt drills I got off my friend Mark. Really heavy. You can see it's got two little holes in there. It's designed to have flood coolant running through it. But it will drill a hole without flood coolant. As long as we're careful with it. It should walk through this. A little bit of oil. I'm using the 8mm bolts to hold it together, so we'll put an 8mm drill through and see how much clearance that actually gives us on an 8mm bolt. One thing I forgot to mention is it does no harm to put a piece of metal underneath there. And then if you do happen to go through with a drill, like a clumsy bastard, you aren't going to make a mark on your table. Not rocket science, but it does save damaging tables. There's nothing worse than, some people call them witness marks, not what I call them. Right, these are the bolts I'm going to use, 8mm. That's a nice fit in there. I'm going to use these countersunk bolts on the bottom because the bottom plate's just 11mm thick. So I'm going to drill the countersink while I've got it set up like this. I'm running this fairly slow, that's gonna. A little bit more. Right, that's better, that's just below the surface. We'll give it a wee bit more just to make double sure. Right, that's absolutely gorgeous, just what I wanted. Simple case now, loosening this off, turn it round and do the 3 holes in exactly the same way. Okay, that's the 4 holes drilled and the countersink's done. Now we can turn this over. These are the bolts we're going to be using to hose the top down. So we need to countersink them to let the heads in. For that, I just use a milling cutter. It's important that we line that hole up with the chuck, so I've got a 8mm dowel pin. We'll put that in the chuck and we'll just use that to simply line the hole up with. We'll do that way first, then that way, then we can tweak it until it slips in nice and gently like that, and that pin is a really good fit in there, so that means now that the table is nicely in line. Just going to tighten the axis up, make sure things won't move around. This one as well, just make sure the table's nicely locked. This is the only time you'll see me use a milling cutter in a drill chuck. I'll give it a try. I might have to go to a collet chuck just to get a bit more rigidity. We'll give it a try and see. You can normally get away with it. Run it nice and slow. See how it's making things wobble around. Not ideal, but it is putting the countersink in, which is what we need. That's good. Level with the top. Little touch more. Excellent. Right, so if you have 4 of them to do exactly the same, and then we can cut them apart again. Right, I've swapped them onto a collet chuck just to show the difference in rigidity this has over an ordinary drill chuck. feed up with a knee as well. Right, as you can see, there's no wobbling about, it's just doing what it's supposed to do. Right, it's just a simple case now of splitting those little tack welds off, deragging them, and that's the top and bottom plates done.